Is my wife an addict? And is it time to leave? 33 male 39F. Throwaway to not have potential family or wife see this post. I am sorry if this gets long. I think I know the answer, but I'm looking for some other spins on it. If you want to skip to the main story, paragraph 4 is where I get into the main issue. Too long did not read. At the bottom, we dated starting in March 2021. She moved into my house in April 2022. Married in January 2024. This is her second marriage, my first. I had 5 serious relationships prior to this one. So not really newbie, but obviously divorce is a lot different than just breaking up. I take great fault in living in the honeymoon stage for a long time and not really seeing the problem and not addressing it until this past year, and unfortunately I think it's too late. She was divorced from her daughter's birth father, citing he was abusive. They have been divorced for over a decade. She dated 2 people in between him and me. She had full custody. Daughter is adult now. I've met her ex a few times, and he seems mostly level-headed these days and has 2 kids with his current wife. They both get into childish arguments / who's in more control when it comes to their daughter, my stepdaughter. For some context, stepdaughter was a freshman in HS when they moved in. She would split time between living with us or family close by school. My house was about an hour away from where her daughter went to school. After we got married, we moved out of my house and bought a place up in the same city and school district. We still have my old house and plan to move back there, as both of us much prefer the town my house is in, coastal beach town. SD graduated and is at college. We have our current house up for rent and are ready to move ASAP, as there is nothing keeping us here in a town we hate, to be honest. Wife also wants to go back to school to further her career. She has an associate's, wants to get a master's. The school she wants to go to is much closer to our original house, so it does work out. I support this fully. So we have a lot of life changes going on at the moment. Mostly positive other than my wife feeling empty nester syndrome. I don't feel this way. Stepdaughter could be hard to live with, but that's a story for another time. Back in February of this year, I noticed we're seriously over budget each month. I traced it down to exactly how much she is spending at the ABC store, where we buy liquor in our state, and did the math, and between liquor, wine, and cigarettes, she was spending over $1,500 a month on my credit card she is an authorized user on, and she was spending her salary on Adderall. She has a prescription for it, but her justification to buying extra illegally was she doesn't feel the effects of it just following the prescribed amount. I work full-time. She currently works less than 15 hours a week, and maybe makes $500–750 per month take home. This is a basic retail job, just to get her out of the house that was supposed to help her drink less. We are not broke. I come from a well-off family and have a ton of family support both emotionally and financially. But I'm a budgeter/saver, and living with a spender is tough. Especially when I pay the mortgage on both houses, our car lease payments. Leased cars hold no value in divorce, the family lawyer advised. Credit cards, etc., and her money is her money. We do have a prenup. I confronted her about this, told her it stops. We had a huge argument, and I left for a week to stay in our old house. I don't rent it out. We use it as our vacation home, knowing we were going to move back full-time when SD graduated HS. I stayed for over a week, until she came down and she promised to change. She, to her credit, did stop buying Adderall illegally, and just gets what she is prescribed, but I have noticed lately she runs out early. She also is on Xanax and haloperidol, for help sleeping, she says. She takes Adderall immediately after getting up, and Xanax when she says she's anxious, which she also takes double of and runs out, then drinks more to compensate. Haloperidol she takes at night as prescribed. But since February of this year, we have had the same cycle of arguments over how much she drinks. She says she will slow down. She does for a few days, then tries to hide how much she's drinking. I find out, we argue again, etc. But it's the same thing each time. I tell her 2 bottles of wine a night is absolutely a problem, and there is still the issue of this is costing us $750 a month on a useless addiction, not counting her half a pack a day smoking problem. I am not a smoker, and am a very light social drinker at best. I can go weeks without alcohol, now coffee and Coke Zero. Yeah, I have a problem there, lol. But she refuses to see 2 bottles of wine a day as a drinking problem. Sometimes more, or she will switch to having a beer or something if she runs out and can't drive to get more. I have told her she has proven to me she is not in control, or she just doesn't care or want to solve it. I have offered her to go to rehab, see an addiction therapist, AA, etc., and every time is absolutely not. After an argument, she will slow down. We have done the whole, okay, I won't drink until 5 p.m. even on days off, or I will slow down to 1 bottle a night, or okay, 4 glasses a night, and it slowly but surely becomes more until we're back to square one. The glasses go from standard pours to top of the cup, etc. Then the drinking starts as soon as she's up, and she hopes I don't notice. I come home from work, and can immediately tell just from the sound of her voice she's been drinking. But she would always say I'm wrong until I finally put a camera up in the kitchen and called her bluff. This worked for a bit, and now she just doesn't care and does it when she feels like, and we continue to have the same argument over and over. I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't keep my own alcohol in the house without it being drunk by her. Even if I hide it, somehow she will find it. I'm so emotionally worn out from having the same argument over and over. Her apologizing, and this time it will be different, and then a week later she's back to the way it was. Between the needless expense and the fact that I'm embarrassed to take her places knowing she will overindulge and act out. I'm just tired. I do love her with all my heart, but even then this isn't fair to me to have to live like this day in and day out. She absolutely refuses to see it as a problem and refuses to get help, other than marriage counseling, which makes me think she sees me as the problem, not her. Other than canceling all her cards and not giving her the ability to buy alcohol, I don't see how this gets better. But then she doest have the ability to do basic things like gas her car, get her nails done, etc. And I feel like an extremely controlling, abusive spouse doing this. This last week I have been sleeping in the guest room, but I am ready to leave. The energy and pins and needles feeling in the house is just getting awful. We both have just been on autopilot and barely speaking to each other except, what do you want for dinner? And, I'm leaving for work, etc. I've talked with my mom about it, and she is in full support of me leaving. But I'm not sure what happens to our main house, my dog, the furniture in that place, the fact that both cars are in my name, my boat and jet skis are in the detached garage out back, etc. All except the house I had prior to marriage. It's not easy for me to just throw a suitcase into the car and leave. I don't want to leave my entire life at the house. My mom told me to just pack a suitcase with clothes and anything small and sentimental, and my dog, and leave and worry about that stuff later, and I believe she's right. But I still, probably stupidly, believe there is hope things could change. I'm just not sure how to do it, and if I need to leave to prove to her at the end here. I believe if she would get help we could be so much better. Too long did not read. Wife drinks 2 bottles of wine a day plus Adderall and Xanax. We argue weekly about it, and she refuses to get help. Edit to add for visibility. On the meds, her DR, that prescribed her meds, I think is an absolute quack. She throws at her whatever she thinks will solve the immediate problem, and does nothing to solve the deep-rooted problems. I know haloperidol is for people with schizophrenia. I don't think she has that. Literally, this doctor threw this set of pills at her to help her sleep as her body is so messed up on uppers and downers. She switched her from Seroquel, SP, to haloperidol about 2 years ago as my wife complained of weight gain from the Seroquel. This DR hasn't helped her situation at all, and in a lot of ways made it worse. IDK if there's some kind of malpractice suit here or what. Or if she is just telling my wife it's for sleep and knows there's something more wrong with her. No idea here. I have some vacation time saved up and will most likely take this week off to get my ducks in a row. I actually just got off the phone with my mom, and she basically echoes what everyone says on here. She told me to get the locks changed on the house once I get down there, and other than my pup the rest of the things are just things, don't worry about them, and she's right. Edit 2 My mom is not a DR or psychologist, but is a lawyer for special needs, exclusively does mental health court, and says just based on what she has heard she might need a psychological evaluation before attempting rehab or anything else. Certain rehab facilities might turn her away until this is done. Thoughts on this? She drinks because the crash from Adderall is so painful once resistance is built up. She definitely needs about 2 months of inpatient rehab and another year of intensive outpatient treatment, about 9 hours per week. Since you are mentally done on one hand, but still love her on the other, I suggest the following. Tell her you're moving out and canceling her cards, that she has exactly 2 choices. 1. Divorce immediately. 2. Rehab immediately followed by outpatient for a year. They test her there, and you guys can work to try to save the marriage. Tell her either way you're going to put this house up for sale and move out. She moves into rehab ASAP, or wherever if she chooses divorce. Then I wish you luck. Either way, this bullshit is over. You're with an addict, and it's unlikely to get better. You've got too much life ahead of you to be stuck in this situation. Get a divorce attorney, protect yourself financially, and yes, leave. She goes to rehab and stops abusing substances, or you are out. The only one who can change is her. Your decision is whether you stay with an addict or not. It's very hard to watch someone unravel their life. I've been there. It gets worse. Mom is right. You know it. Lawyer up and protect yourself. She knows she's the problem, and you're probably not the first to call her out. Sorry, Opie, good luck. Addiction is rough. It doesn't seem she wants to change or get better. Has she even attempted rehab? Why is she so comfortable spending your money consistently to fund her addictions? You get to a point where you need to make her choose between a life and marriage with you, or her addictions. I think we both know what her answer would be. Do I, 23F, tell my brother, 22M, now that his dog died, or wait until he's home? Hi guys. I really need advice because I genuinely don't know what to do. My brother, 22, went away for school for 4 months and left his dog in my care. He comes home in 2 weeks. Tonight the most unimaginable thing happened. I let the dog out into our backyard like I always do so he could pee, and coyotes took him. We searched everywhere, and he never came back. This dog is my brother's best friend. He's had him for 8 years. My heart is shattered and I feel sick. I can't stop replaying it and feeling like it's my fault. My brother has been having a really rough couple of months, and his mental health hasn't been great. This dog is basically his support animal. I don't know what the right thing is. Do we tell him now, while he's far away and alone? Or wait until he's home, where we can physically support him? I'm scared he'll spiral or blame himself or me. I'm also scared that holding the truth for 2 weeks might be the wrong decision too. I don't want to make anything worse. I just genuinely don't know what to do. Any advice would help. Edit. I also want to mention that this is my brother's exam week at school. I'm terrified that giving him this news right now will affect his performance or his mental health, but I also don't want to hide something this serious from him. I'm really torn on what the right thing to do is. I think you should tell him before he gets home, but wait until after his exams. This could destroy his performance on his exams and ruin a semester's work. If it just happened tonight, isn't it possible the dog is just lost? Did you see/hear coyotes or hear an attack? Is the yard securely fenced? This happened to me years ago. I don't know if there is a perfect answer, but I wish I'd been told before I got home. I say wait until the exams are done, but tell him before he gets home. Death of a pet is not a good enough excuse to miss an exam, in most profs' eyes anyway, but will fuck him up real good, and he won't be able to focus on the exam. Once he's done, tell him what happened. It'll be hard, but it needs to be done. I think you should tell him. It'll be terrible either way, but coming home with the excitement built up to see the dog, then finding out not only is his dog gone, but he's been lied to about it will just pile on. You have coyotes in the backyard, and you just leave a dog to go pee? GF, 27F, keeps using my 23M shampoo and soap? Girlfriend, 27F, me, 23M, been together 3 years. Long story short, I have skin issues that make my skin very, very dry to the point it hurts, and it gets significantly worse in the winter. If I use regular shampoo or soap, it dries it out horribly. I don't even bother trying any soap/body wash unless it has at the very least extra sensitive labeled on it. I've only found one shampoo that doesn't make my scalp dry and itchy, so I'm limited on options. All those things are more expensive than regular products. One 200 ml bottle of the shampoo costs €8. For reference, you can get a bottle of normal shampoo for less than €2 for 250 ml. To the actual point now, we've been living together for a year. Recently she's decided she wants to use my stuff because she likes the smell. The stuff is all unscented, so I don't get that. I don't think I need to explain that my body wash running out twice as fast now is a bother. The shampoo is a bigger issue because she has long hair, so of course uses significantly more than I do every wash. I suggested she should start buying the bottles when they run out. She doesn't want to because it's my stuff. I reckon when we're both using it, it becomes our stuff, therefore both should chime in. She thinks if it's that big of a financial strain, I should buy cheaper. There isn't cheaper though. I don't want my skin hurting and itchy. It's like she doesn't understand that it actually is a problem and not simply a preference. I'm kinda lost on what to do. I debated just hiding the stuff, but that seems childish, no? I don't know how to get it through to her. TLR, girlfriend keeps using my expensive hygiene products that I need due to sensitive skin, but doesn't want to buy any of it. She is being childish by using your expensive stuff without paying it. If hiding it is the only way of stopping her using it, do that. How do you split other expenses like food, etc.? Just add shampoo to the grocery bill as another normal shared item. OMG, this is ridiculous. How insensitive and selfish of her sad face. She should at least be buying the bottles when they run out, or she can get her own. That's honestly just mean and very inconsiderate to you. I think you clearly communicated to her the disparity in this. Her response is shitty. If it's a financial strain on you, then she should be buying and using her own products. If she likes yours so much, then she should buy those for herself. Duh. If she's not going to listen, your only choice is to hide your products or put them in a lockbox. ETA, I have really sensitive skin too, so I do not buy body wash or shampoo that has SLS in it. Sodium lauryl sulfate is very drying for skin. Tell her explicitly to stop using your stuff immediately and to buy you replacements. If she refuses, break up. You're trying to make healthy boundaries, and she's not taking it seriously. I think calmly explain that you're really upset about this. At the end of the day, it's medical to you and luxury to her. If she can't understand why it upsets you, that's okay, but what's important is that she acknowledges you're upset and is open to working on a solution. €8 isn't a lot of money, but over time it is, and also it's important to you that you manage how much you have, because it would be horrible to see that it's run out without you knowing. You should get 2 bottles and show her how much faster hers runs out. Or just start using her makeup and skincare products because you like the smell of them and see how quickly she gets it then. What to do if my 27F husband 27M is prioritizing gaming over finding a job? Me 27F and my husband 27M have been together for 8 years. We have been married for 3 years. I am expecting a child in June. He has been unemployed since February. We have had some savings, but they are since dwindling. I am working 1 full-time job and 1 part-time job to make sure we have enough money for bills, going out to eat, and the occasional activity. He has been looking for a job, primarily just by easy apply. Most days he's sleeping until after 1 p.m., watching YouTube and gaming constantly. I come home from work and just see him gaming and ignoring our 2 cats. This concerns me as I cannot scoop litter due to the pregnancy, and I'm worried he would also leave a baby in a dirty diaper for gaming. I know the job market now is rough, especially as he is looking for remote computer-based jobs. However, I have begged him to get any job that pays as he does not qualify for unemployment due to resignation. He believes he is too good for any service or retail job that is hiring because he has a degree. When I see his hours of video gaming and how it impacts his sleep and consumes his life, I feel like as long as I can handle the bills, he's not motivated to apply. I asked him multiple times, to the point of us going to therapy, to just take any paid gig and continue applying for the computer job. As I only will be receiving half pay when I'm on maternity leave, and not sure what to do for childcare after that, I need him to step up so the constant worry of bills isn't just on me. I think that as video games is his primary motivation, that if he is off video games until he has a job it will motivate him. I wish his primary motivation was to care for his wife and unborn child, but he thinks I can care for myself. When I asked him to stop gaming until he finds a job, he told me that it's unfair for me to try to take away his only source of joy and relaxation. I'm not sure what to do at this point, as it's clear he doesn't have intrinsic motivation to care for a job, and it's stressing me out and making me feel like I'm 100% handling the mental and financial load of the relationship. So basically, this man quit his job and now lives like a teenager on summer break. He only applies to remote-only jobs which are disappearing in one of the worst job markets ever. I would be kicking him out. I'm not even joking. You've got yourself and a new baby to worry about. You don't have the time or money to be his mommy too. Wow, you're married to a loser. That's what's going on here. You're on the road to becoming a married single mother if he continues to be that useless. At some point, you will have to decide if it's just better to be an actual single mother with a free babysitter. If it is legal, maybe not carrying the child to term should be something to discuss about. He doesn't seem to be ready for the responsibility as a husband or as a father. I'd walk away. Just know that this behavior will probably be same once baby arrives. It is such a disappointment to see a grown man with a baby on the way seeing his wife do the work in the house and him prioritizing laziness instead of securing a job to establish a better foundation for the family. I would divorce his ass.